Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I just want to tell you this is going to be something spectacular because this is a new series that we just started called I'm Single and I Know It. Okay, this is for all those of you who are single out there and you just know it because you're not committed, you're not in a relationship, you're not yet married, or you're planning about these things, or you're wondering what you should do or how you should equip yourself about all these things. Well, this is for you. And today I'm going to talk about 4 reasons which are not enough for you to get married. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why people get married today. You know, they get married for weird reasons and crazy reasons. But I'm going to talk to you about 4 reasons which are not good enough for you to get married. Okay, I'm not telling you don't get married, but I'm telling you these reasons should not be the basis for you to say, I want to get a life partner, I want to get into a relationship, I want to get married. Because this is something very profound. Okay, so let me jump into what are the 4 things. Point number 1, desperation is not a sign that you're ready for marriage. You know, some people are so desperate, you know, they try every girl they see on the road and so to speak that, you know, I'm so desperate, I need somebody right now. I'm so desperate that, you know what, I need to get this done. You know, desperation is not a sign that, you know, it's the right time for you or that you're ready for a relationship or a marriage, because you know, desperation can be for a lot of reasons. It could be just for your own personal needs. It could be for, you know, you to accomplish something, you know, whatever. So desperation is not a sign on its own. Second thing is very important is, you know, loneliness. Some people, you know, want a life partner, they want a relationship just because they feel so lonely. Can I tell you something, dear saints? You know, a marriage is not something that's going to solve your problems, it's going to reveal your problems. You know, I want you to understand, right in your singlehood, right in the season that you're in, even before you get married, this is a season of its own where, you know, you are whole. You know, many times we think that, you know what, I'm just half and the other person is another half, you know, the better half and all these concepts that are brought about by society. But you need to understand, you are a person who's whole, W-H-O-L-E, not H-O-L-E. So you are a whole person and you need to be content and you need to you know that you on your own have a lot of value, you have a purpose, and you know what, you have everything God has given you for you to fulfill your destiny. Okay, and loneliness is not a sign that, oh, I think I need to get somebody. No, many people think, you know, marriage or relationship will solve their problems, you know, of loneliness and, you know, desperation and, you know, depression. But can I tell you something? It's not going to solve the problem. Okay, it's going to reveal the problems that are already within you. So unless you deal with your loneliness and find your fulfillment and your desperation and find that only God can satisfy that vacuum in you, you're going to get into trouble. You're not only going to get yourself into trouble, you're going to put somebody else into trouble as well. So heartache, breakups, oh my goodness, why go for all of that? Thirdly, you know, one of the reasons why people go into this is because of peer pressure. Oh, you know what? My friends, they're all hooked up. No, I'm the only one who's single. There's something wrong with me. Can I tell you something? Listen, don't let peer pressure run your life. You know, somebody else may get it beforehand, or you know, you may have pressure from everybody else or from society, your family, and everybody else is saying, you know what, you're the one, what's wrong with you? You know, today's society is like that. Oh, what's your age? Oh my goodness, look at somebody else of your age. They are hooked up and they have so many people, or they have in a relationship, or they got married, and what's wrong with you? But can I tell you something? There's nothing wrong with you. Don't allow peer pressure to drive you into a wedlock. Don't let peer pressure drive you into, you know, a relationship, because if you're not ready for it, you're going to get into a lot of mess. Not only you're going to land the other person in mess, and probably you may even land a lot of people in mess because of this. So watch out. And fourthly, this is so important, time factor. I think, most people get married only because of this. Oh, it's time up. Look at your age. So this is the age for getting married. Can I tell you something? It's not about what time you do it. You got to be ready for it. That's the problem. Why most marriages are not as it should be. That's the reason why most relationships are not working out the way it should be. If not for the divorce, I can at least talk about this part that, most people just, hold on just because of the reasons of society. But in reality, the reason it's not working out is because they're not ready for it. See, if you have to go and into your career, okay, you go and do a course, you get yourself equipped for it. But then, unfortunately, most people don't do anything to equip themselves for this lifelong decision of marriage. They just think, it's something like trial and error method. It's not going to work out that way. So you need to understand, it's not about what time or what's your age. It's about when are you ready for it. Are you are you equipped enough, or are you well able to understand the aspects? Because I know many people, who get married, but they don't have any idea what it is. It's not a ritual, saints. It's not a ritual. It's not a ceremony. It's a covenant. And if that is the case, you need to understand a lot of things before you get yourself into this. So that's why I want to just refresh you on these 4 things. Just because you're desperate doesn't mean you're ready for it. Just because you are lonely doesn't mean you're ready for it. Just because you're having so much of pressure from your friends and your close circle doesn't mean you're ready for it. Just because everybody else is saying, this is your high time and it's time for you, this is your age, doesn't mean you're ready for it. See, it may be a time factor in the society, but we don't fall into that time factor. That's the problem. Why most people struggle. It's always a time factor. You're born and then you live certain lifespan in which you go to school and then you go to college and then you get a job and then you get married and then you get a kid, and so it's like a society has made up a timetable and said this is how it should be. So if you finished your course and you're not got a job, then there's something wrong with you. That's how the society looks at. So if you have reached a certain point of time and you have not gotten married or you're not got anybody, that means something wrong with you. No, that's how society portrays, but that's not the way it is. You got to understand, you have this beautiful season of singlehood. Make the most of it. Get equipped in the Word of God, spend time with God, and at the same time, understand yourself, and that you don't need marriage to solve your problems of loneliness and desperation, because it's not going to solve it. And try understand how you are whole in the finished work of Jesus Christ, and get to know Him and start depending on Him. Can I tell you something? Listen, when you are in His presence, when you are all about Him, at the right moment, when it is the right time, God will bring the right person across your path. God is going to, if you think about Adam in the Bible, that's what happened. He was in his own world, in Eden, the garden which God planted, and Eden means delight in the presence of God. He was in the delight of the presence of God, and God brought Eve to Adam. God will bring Eve to you. And that doesn't mean that you don't do anything. That doesn't mean that you just sit at home and sleep and expect Miss Universe to come knocking at your door and say, can you marry me? That's not what I mean. You got to go and be part of a good church. You got to go and be part of a community through which God is going to bring in the person to you. But it doesn't mean that you have to be desperate in trying every single girl you see on the road, or be in a place of, oh, I'm so lonely. That's not what your song should be. You got to go to the place and say, you know what, God, you're there for me. At the right time, you're going to meet my need of bringing a life partner, and you're going to do it for me. And when God does it, you will be amazed. Okay, so I hope you were blessed by this session. I want you to like it, share it, comment on it, and stay tuned for more videos that are going to be coming up in this and various topics that I'm going to talk about. I'm telling you, your life will not be the same again. Until next time, love you. God bless you.